Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we look at episode 8 of Drifters. Sorry for this being a delay, but it was actually delayed yesterday, which kind of made it harder for me to review because of the fact that it was delayed. Anyways, this week's episode was pretty good. It focused on a few things, namely, we learned a little bit about Seimei, who's the actual guy who is the leader of the Octoberists, essentially. We learned a little bit more about him. We also see Toya actually get really pissed off where he tells the guy that no matter what, he fights by his own rules. He tells him that he's not going to take a girl's head. So, he's talking about Joan of Arc, that whole battle where he left her alive despite having the upper advantage where he could have killed her. He's like, no, I'm not doing that. That's not my way. So we see that Toya really is resolved to follow his own set of guidelines and rules, which is really cool about his character. We learned about the old man also, who apparently is indeed losing his mind. I don't want to focus on this too long, but the thing is that's very interesting. It kind of leads to a very weird, awkward, I think, relationship between him and Toya, who he thinks of him as his uncle, which I thought was funny. We also run into, I forget the guy's name. He's one of the Roman leaders, I think, or one of the shit. I forgot exactly who he is, but he ends up running into the wolf people during his thing where he got knocked off the Wild One's carriage, and unfortunately is now lost in the woods and then runs into the wolf people. And probably the best part of this whole episode, honestly, to me at least, was when he actually meets the leader of the wolf people, which is the pilot from before, who at first they having problems understanding one another, and then he tells I'm Roman, and then the guy's like, oh, Rome, Italy, and he thinks of the three axis that was a part of the World War II, but he also like beats the shit out of him because like, you guys screwed over Japan, you guys hurt us, etc., etc. So that was comedic moments, like it looked like they finally understood each other, but really they kind of didn't. That was probably one of the, I think probably the best moments of this episode, to be honest. Nobunaga, excuse me, gets this kind of thing where he finally explains why exactly he cares so much about these defeating the ends, essentially, where he's like, I want to make a new world here. He goes, he wants to make a thing where everyone rules under their own guidelines, everyone has different states and different things and different cultures and stuff like that, which is almost essentially our world. So I think he's just trying to kind of copy our world and put it into this world now, which is very dark and interesting in many ways if you think about it. I do like the part where he's like, oh yeah, I'll make sure that there's taxes, I'll make sure that people are living fairly, and there's various businesses, disciplined soldiers, etc. So that was, I was like, really, dude? Is that so you just really are trying just to make a copy of Japan slash the rest of the world in this place, huh? So one thing that's interesting, like, also that's probably gonna lead up to the next few episodes, is Toya makes an announcement at the elves meeting, essentially, where he plans on saving the dwarves, which we learned from the elves that the dwarves and the elves don't get along. Apparently they've not gotten along for many, many years, and they kind of hate each other. But Toya's like, I'm gonna save them because they need to be saved. And what's kind of interesting is, like, he goes, I don't care if you guys help me or not, I'm gonna do it myself if I have to, and he's willing to do it. He leaves the meeting, and everyone's like, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna, like, help him or not? And Oda's like, Oda's just surprised he's doing that. Like, Oda runs after him saying, no, we're gonna come with you, we're gonna come with you. But Toya turns around, and right away we see the October saying, listen, you can take Olimanu with you, who's the one girl with the glasses and stuff like that. You can take her with you. We have Oda, of course, saying that he's gonna help out. We have Nasu saying he's gonna help out. And what's interesting though is that Toya's like, Oda goes, why'd you not take the elves? He goes, no, don't worry, they'll come. And we see all the elves show up because he saved them, so they're willing to trust Toya. So he goes, I wanted to make sure that they would trust me and go into battle with me, not because they were forced to, but because they chose to do that. It was a very slow, no action episode again, but for the most part, it kind of sets up for the next few episodes, I believe. So it was definitely needed, and it got better toward the middle point of the episode. I mean, the beginning was like meh, but the last, like, I want to say 15 minutes were really good. So that was a good thing about this. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Have a great, great day. Bye bye.